large viewing gallery above the area where the Klingsphere was located, and the screen was raised, and we were finally told what we were working with. When I first saw him, I was looking through the glass from the gallery. He looked like a bug to me, and we were told at that time that we were working with an extraterrestrial.
Area 51 itself, of course, did not officially exist until very, very recently. We had drawings of supposedly S4 underground bases working with aliens and whatnot. But no underground bases with aliens. I always say, don't be surprised that strange things fly in the desert.
We've got a separate space program, totally different from NASA. NASA is building Model T shuttles. The Joint Space Command has become almost an entity unto itself. As Ben Rich said, who ran the skunk works for Lockheed Martin before he retired, he says, we can take E.T. home. And he went to the blackboard and scribbled up there. He says, we've benefited from unfunded opportunities. And somebody says, what the hell do you mean by that? And he went with his chalk and he circled the U and the F and the O. He says, that's where we got most of it.
Look it up.
Some psychologists say sleep paralysis is the reason why many people have abduction-like experiences. During sleep paralysis, the sleeper partially awakens, but is almost completely paralyzed and has terrifying hallucinations of ghosts, demons, or aliens. If this theory is true, why are abductions often reported during broad daylight? What kind
it's
of
not
technology
true.
would it take to remove people from their homes and cars and carry them onto a spacecraft, unbeknownst to the abductees and those around them?
The technology is involved with coming here and getting people out of their apartments, and people claim that they go directly through windows, through walls, through ceilings, and so forth.
Because we're living in a
Future
simulation.
physics. That's technology. These beings come into the room and take them out, and they are under control all the way through from the beginning to the end of the abduction sequence. That is all neurological control from afar.
The basic pattern, I would say, is that person's in a car.
Easily done if we're living in a
There's
simulation.
above the car stops, people are paralyzed and quite terrified, and two alien figures of three approach the car and take the people out, and they're taken into a craft. They're undressed, put on tables, and there's a series of procedures that take place.
When you take a look at a UFO, inside a UFO, everything is for abduction purposes. There isn't anything that we can see that isn't. What we see is room after room with equipment for the abduction purpose. And all that equipment is tailored to humans. That had to be designed. That had to be manufactured. The idea of secrecy, of controlling us, all had to be thought out. This is a program that is multi-layered in the background. They have to have resupply. There's a whole world of abduction activity. We're just seeing the end product. That means that this program is enormously important to the abductors.
I think people react to abductions pretty much like any deer in the open would react when we go ahead, tranquilize it, tag it, and go ahead and track it for life. It would have no comprehension, therefore we make no effort to explain to that deer what we're doing. We would have no comprehension as to the total intent of what they are trying to do in the abduction scenarios. Abductions and interaction takes place in an ordered reality.
The phenomena of abductions, for instance, have been going on for millennia. And ever since there's been people, they have had interactions with beings from other dimensions or reported this. I do think that consciousness, at some level, is the core mediator of the phenomenon. Now, there's pieces of this that are hardware, and they are picked up by every sensor system that we have. We're talking about a phenomena that, at least for some period of time, is physical. We talked about the interdimensional capability or possibility that at times dimensions cross over. While that occurs, the thing is just as hard as I am sitting here, but when the separation occurs, they go away. And so when you say, where did it go? It's not even a valid question.
Mm-hmm.
We tend to think of the UFO abduction experience as something that has only happened in the modern world. It's very common for shamans to experience abduction by beings that they construe as spirits from the spirit world, who descend upon the shaman and take him away into the sky.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what makes the story of abduction solid to me is that in traveling about the world, you hear approximately the same abduction scenario in Britain as you do in Africa or Amazon or Israel. So the stories are all the same.
If there are such things as extraterrestrials, what do they look like? Could they resemble humans? Would we even recognize them as life forms? Will we see these beings as they really are, or project familiar earthbound images onto them in a vain attempt to understand their strangeness?
By the way, there's not them and us. There's us and them and them and them and them and them. You've got the groups that are psychic and the groups that are not psychic. And within each one of those, you have those that are friendly and those that are unfriendly. The friendly psychic groups are here to help us, and they would really like to see us gain more psychic ability. The unfriendly psychic ones want us dead.
Mm-hmm.
These short beings with the large head and the black eyes, known as the Greys, these are associated with alien abductions, in which they're performing various types of medical procedures on men and women. Procedures that have a lot to do with human reproduction.
There's two types in my experience. One is the worker being. They're approximately 3 feet tall. They're the ones with the big heads and the big teardrop eyes. The species of gray that I've been working with, that I call the true aliens, are about a foot or so taller, and their physique is more closer to ours than the short ones with the big heads.
The most powerful of the gray aliens are the ones who look more sort of insect-like or very, very thin, and people describe as praying mantises routinely.
Yep.
Those are the ones that are in control. Those are the ones who are order givers. Everybody else is an order taker.
The first 6 years of my abductions were primarily and totally with Greys. No emotions, thought-activated technology, totally telepathic, cold and calculated in their behavior. Their minds and the way they can assimilate data, they think 10 to 100 times faster than we do. They have to slow way down to even telepathically communicate. Things that they do seem almost spiritual, or they seem like magic. For an example, they have the ability of invisibility. They have the ability to have their working essence maybe 95% in one dimension and 5% in this one.
Many abductees not only describe Greys, but they describe the blonde, blue-haired people, which they call Nordics.
These blondes have taken them onto craft. And then on the craft, they have taken them out to look at the moon, to go through the solar system.
Then you have the reptilians, which a lot of people eschew because they don't even want to consider that something like a reptilian might be running around. That leads into claims that they can shapeshift. Can you imagine what would happen today if you were sitting in a theater and you begin to wonder about the person sitting next to you?